the grapevine Pappy, with Pappy, Kalin, Ian, Andrew, Daniel, Ben, and Sam. Pappy sat in the same old wicker chair on the sunlit porch, the one that creaked like it held 100 stories in its cane-weave belly. Over his shoulder, the grapevine crawled up the trellis in lazy spirals, its leaves whispering as the breeze passed through like an old friend. His grands, Kalin, Ian, Andrew, Daniel, Ben, and Sam, gathered at his feet with sticky fingers, dusty toes, and wide summertime eyes. Pappy cradled a heavy wooden bowl in his lap, brimming with dark, plump grapes that looked like polished marble soaked in midnight. He smiled down at them the way a man smiles when he's holding a map to a place he's already found, the place where meaning hides. Children, he said, voice slow as warm molasses poured on cornbread. Life's a lot like eating a grape. He plucked one loose, rolled it between his fingers like a tiny planet, and handed it to Sam. Savor the juice, taste the sunshine that grew it. Then he clicked his tongue, leaned close, and whispered, then spit out the seed. Not every seed's worth planting in your heart. They burst into giggles, especially the two Bens, who tried to spit their seeds farther than the other. But even in the laughter, Pappy's eyes remained steady and serious, the way an old river looks when it knows exactly where it runs, even if the children splashing in its banks don't. When I was about your age, Pappy began, tapping the bowl like he was tapping a drum of memories, there came a summer so hot the grapes in our yard split open like little laughing mouths. The children leaned in. They loved Pappy's young days. My brother and I would run barefoot through the dust, racing to the grapevine's shade where it felt like stepping into another world. We'd stuff our pockets so full of grapes we walked like penguins trying to hide treasure. Kalin giggled. You, a penguin? Pappy winked. A hungry one. He paused, remembering. One day I'd quarreled with my best friend, fussed over a toy truck. I stomped out to the vine, mad enough to stew, and I bit into a grape without thinking. The children watched him bite the air as if he held the memory like fruit. But it didn't taste right. Anger makes even the sweetest things sour. So I stood there a bit. When I let the anger go, really let it go, that next grape tasted like it had been dipped in joy. That was the day I learned that the grape's sweetness doesn't change. I do. The porch fell quiet except for a locust singing far off. See, Pappy continued, picking up a grape and turning it so the sunlight shone through. The skin's like our small worries. They show up on the surface of things, test scores, car keys, chores, little mistakes. He squeezed gently until a droplet shone on his thumb. The juice is the good part. Friendships, joy, a kind word, the feeling when someone prays for you, a warm kitchen in winter. Then he pinched the grape open to show the tiny seed. But the seed, that's the part that can grow into trouble if you plant it where it doesn't belong. He settled back in his wicker throne. For each seed I spat out, he said, I made room on my tongue and in my heart for more sweetness later. He held up one finger. A seed of pride nearly strangled a friendship. I was so sure I was right that I couldn't see my friends hurt. When I finally swallowed my pride, not the seed, and said I was sorry, that friendship grew stronger than an oak tree. Second finger. A seed of fear kept me from an opportunity. I was asked to take on a job I didn't think I was good enough for. A neighbor, wise as Solomon, nudged me forward. Turned out I wasn't just good enough, I was made for it. Third finger. And a seed of regret, I carried one of those around for years like a stone in my shoe, kept chewing on it in my mind. But when I finally gave it away in confession, apologized, and made things right, he let out a slow breath. That seed lost all its poison. The children sat still, imagining the seeds in their own pockets. Seeds worth keeping. Now some seeds you want to keep, Pappy said. Seeds you plant on purpose. He listed them like blessings. Kindness, the seed that makes everybody's soil richer. Patience, the seed that keeps storms from tearing your branches. Curiosity, the seed that turns ordinary days into discoveries. Faith, the seed that finds light even in shade. Tend those like the finest vines, Pappy said. They'll bear fruit long after you're grown. Pappy's grape ritual. He taught them a tiny ritual. Take a grape, he said. Close your eyes. Name one sweet thing from today, then imagine spitting out one small hurt. Kalin went first. Playing tag, he whispered. He spat an imaginary seed into the yard. Ian said, getting to help Grandma bake bread. He spat one too, dramatically. Ben and Daniel went at once, each trying to outdo the other with the size of their imaginary launch. Andrew rolled his eyes, but joined in. Sam whispered, Pappy's story, and spit a seed so gentle it barely left his lips. The porch hummed with the quiet work of children, learning the grown-up art of choosing what to keep, the vine and the lesson. Before the sun sank behind the pines, Pappy stood, leaning on the railing for balance, and motioned them toward the grapevine. He knelt and dug a finger into the soft earth. You can't hurry a vine, he said. It grows slow, steady, honest. You give it good ground, water it, and prune what chokes it. He brushed soil from his hands and looked each grand in the eye. Life is the same way. Water your friends with visits, prune away jealousy, pull up weeds of gossip, and root yourself where the soil is honest and kind. The light caught the edges of his gray hair as the day folded itself into evening. And remember, he said softly, every one of you is a vine I'm proud to have in my garden. Sam hugged his leg. The others crowded in around him like shoots reaching for light. Pappy chuckled, the sound like gravel rolling warm in a pan. Well, he said, raising the bowl, who's ready for more grapes?